Are you a business owner looking to secure your financial future and create a lasting legacy? I'm Leah Garcia, a financial strategist and insurance professional, and I specialize in guiding businesses with up to 50 employees on how to effectively protect and transfer their wealth. We break down silos with my unique approach, the wall of wealth. Imagine a seamless collaboration among your CPA, tax attorney, estate planner, and insurance expert, each playing their part in perfect harmony, ensuring your financial strategy is not just effective, but a true masterpiece. My passion stems from my own journey, from growing up on food stamps to dreaming of building community centers that empower others. Together, we'll craft a roadmap that not only safeguards your assets, but also nurtures generational wealth for your loved ones. Let's transform your vision into reality. After all, you can't measure the heart of a champion just by looking at them. Join me, and let's make your financial future shine.
And we are live. Welcome to this episode of Wealthy Wednesday. Today is going to be fire. I'm so fired up about this conversation. I want to welcome all of you who are joining us. Come on in. Let me know where you are tuning in from. Are you on Facebook or YouTube or LinkedIn? Let us know where you're tuning in from. Please bring your notepads. Please be ready to take some copious notes, and we will take your questions live as well. This is going to be an interactive conversation, and please reshare this. If you know somebody who's an entrepreneur, business owner, solopreneur, wannabe, side hustle, and they want to create a brand, they're not sure what a brand is, they're not even sure that they want a brand, or they don't know what the brand, anything about branding, let's talk about it. This is going to be an incredible conversation. Well, I'm super excited about this. And, I do this show each week because I love to elevate and showcase people who have incredible talents, incredible unique gifts. They have a business, they're entrepreneurs, and they're doing amazing things. And that is truly does absolutely describe my guest speaker today. We're going to talk about branding, but I want to share a quick story with you guys, if I could, before I bring up our amazing guest speaker. So for me, branding has been an evolution, and I truly have not really even wanted to have a brand. Listen, I started on social media and I started on LinkedIn because I felt like nobody I knew would ever see my stuff. None of my friends were on LinkedIn. None of my family was on LinkedIn. I said, I could do this because nobody knows who I am anyway. Nobody's ever going to watch it. And I think that's incredible. But I could say that I'm doing social media. Can any of you relate to that? Or is it just me? Am I the only one? And now what's happened is that my things are starting to be seen. Okay, it just happens that way. And I did an incredible interview with Dr. Constance. And I say it's incredible because she's incredible, okay? And after that interview, I got 4 or 5 people that I know that saw it and said, oh my gosh, Leah, I didn't know you were on social media. Okay, so now I'm having to step into this brand, and I got to say, I'm feeling a little shaky about it. Can I be transparent with you guys? You're my friends and family, right? You're the people that I love and adore. I'm feeling a little shaky about it because now some people, I'm not going to say there's some kind of presence, but some people are starting to see me. And absolutely, it is something that I'm stepping into. We all have to get to another level. We all have another level inside us. We really do. And brand is absolutely part of that. And I will share a kind of a funny story that happened on my interview with Dr. Constance. She actually posted that I was this physical fitness pro athlete, CEO of a makeup company. Check this out. I'm not the CEO of a makeup company. And so my name is affiliated in different spaces because I don't use my middle initial. I use Leah Garcia. I love the way it rhymes. It's who I am. And so she had posted that I was this other person. And by the way, she also does financial services. I'm like, oh my gosh, no, that's not, I don't do that. I'm not a pro athlete. So that really goes to show about your brand. Like what is your brand? Who are you? How do you show up? What do people see about you? What can they find on Google when they research you? It's really critical that we be very, very aware of what we're presenting, who we are. And, being authentic gets a lot of lip service. But this is what being authentic means to me. It's being transparent. It means that when you see me on social media and you meet me in person, it's the same thing. Like, I'm the same quirky person. I talk with my hands. Like, it's the same. It's congruent. But how many of you, and you can put in the comments, don't tag anybody, but how many of you have seen somebody online or seen them in the comments, and then you have a coffee chat with them and they don't look like or have any resemblance of the person that you thought that they were? Is it just me? Again, don't tag them, don't tell them. But we just have to be really, really aware of showing up. And to me, the only way to show up really authentic and transparent is to show up. You got to show up day after day after day after day. You got to show up when you're tired. You got to show up when it's hot outside. You got to show up when it's uncomfortable. You got to show up when your legs are shaking. We got to show up even if our voice trembles, because that's how people get to know us. And that's how we find our own voice. I believe that the more that we speak our mind, the more that we will grow our mind. That's why a lot of times when people have all this branding that they do, they set up a website, they do all these things before they ever do anything. I think that's incongruent. I think start a little ugly, okay? Start a little unsure. And then out of that, you will start to formulate who you are. That's just what I believe. I could be wrong, but I don't know. Our guest speaker is going to unpack this for us. So my incredible guest speaker, Jenny Ford, is the visionary force behind the unique beauty norm, UNBN, where cinematic branding meets legacy storytelling. As a co-founder of SYS CXO Connected Pictures and COO of Martindale Property Services, she sculpts soul-aligned strategies across industries, from global media to sustainable services. As a number one multi-time international best-selling co-author, Biz Catalyst top contributor, and globally recognized disability advocate, Jenny leads with story, systems, and sovereignty. She is also known as a hostess with the most esteemed, turning every platform into a stage for purpose and power. She says, I decode mood into mirror, memory into makeup, and muchness into movement. I don't do branding or beauty. I translate frequency into form so identity can become visible, wearable, and undeniable. Is that incredible or what? So please give it up for my incredible guest speaker, Miss Jenlyn Ford.
Thank you so much.
Yours, my love. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much for such a wonderful introduction, and I'm so excited to join you today. I can't wait to dive into branding, the legacy of it, and how we show up, because I think that we all have had that experience where who we meet or who we think we're meeting, right, is not what we how we thought it would be. And there's just a lot to unpack there, isn't there? So
there is. And again, no names, no tagging anyone. We all have that vision in their mind, and mine startles me to this day. I mean, I was literally shocked. I'm sure I looked like a deer in the headlights, and I was speechless. And that's not very often that happens for me. I can really find something, but I was so taken back by how different they showed up. And I want to really highlight that I'm not talking about physical, but I'm talking about physical. Yes. Okay. So we will look different. Miss Jenlyn, I mean, look at her. Does she look amazing? You guys got to give it up. Like, she looks incredible. Every time I see her, she has an incredible new ensemble. And I just love that. So I'm not really meaning that how they look physically, because Jenlyn looks differently than maybe you've seen her previously, but she looks the same. She's still the same person. She's still the same soul, the same spirit. So our topic here today is the rose that is costing you $1 million. How many of you would like to make $1 million more this year? Is it just me? Give me a 1 in the chat if you'd like to make an extra $1 million this year. I say yes, yes, yes. Remember, this is our year to rise up and thrive. So I love that when you shared this, you said, you know what? Financial blind spots in branding, in expression, these are things that can cost us so much money. And sometimes it starts with just a single rose. So kind of unpack that for us a little bit.
It is about identity. It's about our identity as ourselves. It's about identity as our service, identity as our product, identity as our customers, right? So it's the whole arc, the entire journey all together. A brand is said to be a promise. It's a promise that you make, that you deliver on. And another way I've heard it talked about, right, is it's what people say when you're not in the room, things of that nature. And to me, it's intentionality, it's resonance, it's an evolution. It's something that takes time, it takes tension, it takes truth, and it takes being fully present. So when we move into entrepreneurism and we're new to the world, we're often told basically pick a color, slap a symbol on there, call it your logo, and then just take off running because we all want money. We need to be making that fast money. We need fast clients. And to do that, you have to have this presence. So just make it and then just go with it and build it as you go. When we take time with something, it is different. When we cook a meal with time and care, right, it tastes different. It nurtures differently. And it's certainly the same with ourselves. So with a rose, it's easy to fill into if it's something that you absolutely love and adore, and everyone that knows you right now today already as you're beginning this entrepreneurial journey or as you're beginning a rebrand or whatever it may be, if that's something that you are already associated with and you don't utilize that because some expert told you that it was out of resonance with what you're doing, you have cut off this very important pathway to you as a person. And when you've done that, it is impossible for someone to feel in full resonance and congruence in your presence because it's severed. It's been severed.
Ooh. That gave me chills. And I will share this. And I've said this before, but it's just so true. And I think it's funny now. But when I first started social media, people kept telling me, you use your hands too much. They don't stop doing the hands. Like, what is that about? And so I did a few videos and I tried to almost sit on my hands. It was almost like I couldn't talk. Like my hands are connected to my throat chakra, and somebody could maybe unpack that for me. And so what I said was, listen, if you're not somebody who likes a hand talker, if this annoys you, then I'm probably not the right person for you anyway. And that's totally okay. I get it. I get it. We all have our own unique quirkiness. But the way you describe that, it's like I was severing off. It really was. Yes. Putting my hands underneath my legs was severing off a part of who I am. Yes. And it's those moments where we have to decide, we have to make a decision on, are we doing this for likes and vanity metrics, or are we really doing this because we believe we have something unique to share? We really believe that we have something that we can transform and really pour in and have an impact to somebody. And so that has to become more important than our iniquities, than our, things that people would deem unappealing. Let's just say that.
Well, we're really in the dawn of what I like to talk about and call integrated movement. Right. So it's not content for the algorithm, but it's for arcs. It's storylines that stretch and they collapse and they rise again and they're seen in real time in the public eye. This is something actually, right, that the elite have done for decades, except now we have the opportunity to do that and we get to have it, and it gets to be ours. And for it to be ours, that means that you have to be showing up as you, and I have to be showing up as I. And this is the whole concept of, I'm sure most of you have also heard me called the queen of muchness. And that muchness are those things that people have told you not to do. Talking with your hands, wearing dark makeup, showing up and calling yourself an expert. Don't do that. Or just do this and then take off. You can build it while you fly. Well, you can, but this is the thing. When we're coming after something, let's say money, finances, right? We all go into entrepreneurism because we're wanting this autonomy of several different areas. We're wanting to help. We want to serve. We have something that we know is something that we have to pour out and pour into the rest of the world. And we also want to be compensated handsomely, beautifully for what it is that we have to bring to the world so that we can turn around and do that for others too, right? And ADHD, and I lost my train of thought what I was saying there. I was talking about
showing up handsomely and beautifully.
Yes.
I love that. While you're regrouping, give yourself a moment. Hey, this is live. We're here. Absolutely. No matter what happens, we are here. And I love that because you're showing up as you. You are absolutely showing up as you. I'm going to welcome a few people while you are ready to drop some more golden nuggets on us. Again, if you have a question about branding, you're not sure, you're just starting out, or maybe you're a seasoned professional, entrepreneur, solopreneur, and you have some questions, put your questions in the chat. We will have a few minutes to take your questions live. I want to welcome Christy D. Williams. She is our professional customer service professional. Thank you so much, Christy, for showing up. I love the way that you show up for us. I love the way that you are there cheerleading us. We all need somebody who's going to rah-rah us, right? I always say we got to rah-rah ourselves, but it's always nice to have somebody who rah-rahs us as well. Carrie Carr, I don't know if I've met you. Is this your connection, Jenlyn?
Yes. Yes, this is my business partner.
Well, thank you for joining us, Carrie. Thank you so much. And then my good friend, Americo de Costa, he says that you've got to be seen, heard, and remembered. I love that. We all have been seen. We might have been heard, but how many of us are remembered? That is so absolutely brilliant. And Kevin, welcome. Kevin says, can't wait for this convo. Love your energy. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Listen, I love what I do, and it's just the way I am. Sometimes people call it extra. Hey, it is what it is. If you're not bringing your passion, I don't care if somebody is selling me a ballpoint pen or a doggone paper clip. I want them to be excited about that, right?
Exactly. Oh, beautiful.
Also, really quick, and then I want to hear what you have to say, is also Miss Nick Agai Galindo. She is the founder of Guiding Brilliant Writers. If you are an aspiring author or you're already an established author, please reach out to her. She does some very, very unique topics, and also she really highlights and showcases her authors so incredibly, so brilliantly. And she's somebody I adore, because I admire her from afar, meaning that I'm not going to do this, but she shows up with makeup, without makeup. You're not going to see me like that. Okay, but I absolutely love that she does that. So, so drop some more wisdom on this. Did you kind of regather where you
Yes.
Awesome.
I want to add on to some love for Nick because she deserves it. That she is the publisher I've worked with, and those multiple best-selling #1 international co-authors are with and through her guidance. And she is simply amazing, phenomenal, inside and out, and round and about. And also Kevin and Christy and Carrie and Adrian and Kendra, everyone out there. I know that is the same for each of you. So just taking a second also just to give yourself some applause and some brava and rah-rahs for all of the good things that you have going on out there too, because it's so important that we do that. And circling back, what I was going to say is that when we want something, and we are in pursuit of it, it's a couple of things are happening, and it's not what we think. I'll ask you all out there, right? If I am in pursuit of you, if you turn around and all of a sudden you see Jenlyn chasing you, what are you going to do? Yeah, right? You're going to run. You're going to run. You're going to run away, or you're going to freeze, or you're going to fawn. You're going to flop, right? Either way, the resonance is not there, and there's no magnetic attraction. What it is that you're wanting to receive has no entrance point. It cannot come into your realm because it's not whole, and because there's not a complete pathway for it to come into. When we brand authentically, we are creating pathways that are full and complete, and they're resonant, right? We're building somatics. We are building resonance inside our own, and then therefore others' nervous systems. Right? This is about bodies and frequency and electromagnetic connections between our bodies and our brain and each other. And that is why it's so important to be sure that if that rose is something that you love, that you're bringing it in, and to recognize that if you're not, what are those roses in your own experience and in your own sharing that you're leaving on the side of the table or on the side of the road because somebody said that's not what you're supposed to do and that's not how it's done. If how it was always done was what was meant for you, you wouldn't have the gift that you have because it already had a pathway. You see what I'm saying? So your pathway is different, and you have to build that from a place of understanding that. Also, I want to say that you are the expert. You are the expert in what it is that you do, how you do it, how you know it. And so sharing that from that place of embodiment is absolutely pivotal. And it's what makes a huge difference in the success that you're able to have. And being able to still show up, not perfect, not consistent, in different ways. But when every way is transparent, like you said earlier, Leah, that makes a huge difference. And when it's shared and it's communicated and it's seen, people are like, oh, that's human. And I can relate to that because I do that too.
Yeah, showing up with who you are. And we all have seen all of this social media. We probably at some point feel the pressure of the highlight reel, the photo that's perfect. Like every single one of their photos are perfect. Everything's pre-recorded and it's all, cinematic photography and the lighting and everything. But I believe that it's those of us who are willing to show up. Like, look at my first videos. I didn't have this colorful thing here. I didn't have an intro and outro. Like, I didn't even know what any of that was. You know what? God told me you need to start this type of an event. I wanted to do an audio room, which had nothing to do with cameras. I don't even like to be on camera, right? And I had a few friends that I asked, hey, will you let me do an interview with you? It was like Cassandra Terry, Chesna Wehe, and it might have, and it was one other, I see her face, but I can't think of her name really quick. But here's the thing. I didn't know who the guests were going to be. I didn't have any branding. I really didn't have my LinkedIn profile wasn't optimized. Like, I just did it in the process. And when we can see people that are in the process, I think then that really validates, hey, you are authentic, because look back, listen, it's messy. And I love that. My first video, Jenlyn, was this. I only did it because my business partner made me. We had just moved into our office, a different office in downtown Monterey. And he says, you have to do a video, Leah, you have to. So he put the camera on, he took it off his phone. And I said, what am I going to say? He just says, just say hi. I said, hi, my name is Leah Garcia. I sell insurance. And that's what, that's what it was. It's like 20 seconds, so being willing to do that is what I love. So share a little bit. Let's talk about this rose. Like, what do you mean about this rose? Because you've said it to me many times. I want to know what you mean by that.
So, well, the reason that I choose a rose is because resonantly, frequency wise, it is the frequency of love. It's the frequency of then therefore acceptance. It can be a symbol of friendship. It can be a symbol of romanticship. It can be a symbol of business partnership. It's a symbol of celebration. It can be a symbol of grief. It can be a symbol of love being flowed back and through all of the channels that it is that we ourselves as humans experience. And so to me, there's that beautiful symbology around it. The other thing that's also very important is all of those different meanings and how you bring it to how is it that you're using it, right? So understanding that, for one, there are commonalities that we can wrap around. So if I give you a red rose, or if I use a red rose, you're going to know that's like the deepest, love color, its root, its safety, its security, its presence. If I give you a pink or a fuchsia rose, it's compassion, it's deep friendship, it's empathy, right? It pulls forward these different feelings, these different resonances within us, and it's not random, right? Intentionality is really what branding is all about, is intentionality. When we can bring intentionality and take the time to bring that intentionality to something, like I mentioned earlier, it gives it something, it brings it to life. Our brains process aesthetic cues faster than anything. 5 seconds before any other process begins to happen within your body, your visual constructs have already made a decision. You've already made a decision, then it attaches itself to your belief systems, your emotions, your lived experiences, your mindsets, all of those things. And then it floods down into and through the rest of your body. And a first impression that is bad can take up to 30 physical touch points and up to 6 months of physical time to undo. And that happens in the first 5 seconds.
Whew. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And that always makes me think about Nikola Tesla. And he says, if you want to understand the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. We are constantly vibrating, and that vibration we can't hide. Listen, we can flower our words. We can try to make our brand really pretty and attractive. But if our energy is off, our frequency, like we're not tuning into the right channel. I think of it like a radio.
Yeah.
There's nothing that we can undo on that. We really can't. And saying that it's going to take up to 30 impressions and up to 6 months, or probably even more, I would say, to undo that. So what if we're somebody and we feel like we're not sure? Actually, it's going to be a personal question. Okay. What if you're me?
Okay.
What if you're me and now you're evolving into a different market or a different, not really, maybe a different industry. I'm not going into a different industry, but maybe somebody's just looking to really pivot to that next level.
Yeah.
They've had a certain brand, they've had a certain market, and now they're ready to up level. I'm going to say up level. Okay.
Yeah.
So what does that mean for you? What
So
are some things that they need to really look at?
When you're leveling up, what you really need to look at is it's always going to start with ourselves. It always starts with yourself. What's the driving factor of your own leveling up? What is it that you're looking to achieve when you level up? Because when we level up, you have the opportunity, and I hope that it does include that you are leveling up into a room that is going to level you up. Not just that you're looking to level other people up. This is a leveling of you. And so when you go into those rooms, that's one of the first, places to begin actually with that transition is to begin surrounding yourself with those different magnets that are going to lift you up in the way that you're wanting to grow, and paying attention as you're in that space. What is it that is actually really truly resonating with you? What are you feeling in your body? And when you feel it in your body, what are the things that you're experiencing? Is it a taste? Is it a color? Is it a sound? Is it a symbol? Is it a talisman? Is it something that you get a flash of, something that you're like, oh yes, I know that. And what you'll start seeing and recognizing are the things that you can bring with you. So the parts of your brand that are still in resonance with what you're doing. And this is why the rose is important, because it's at the core. And when you brand from the core, from the beginning, that thing is always going to come with you. And so everything else around that rose can change everything. And you will still be seen as, felt as, and received as authentic, as intentional, and as integrated, because that is the core of who you are, and it's the core of your brand. And when we come from that place, everything else can change, because that's evolution, that's growth, and that's self-development, and that's the things that we want to see. A lot of times when we don't do that, back in the day, right, you were told absolutely don't change your branding. You chose your branding and you stayed with that. And there was proof. Back in the day, Sunny D and Gap changed their branding without taking their customers along for the ride. And when they did, they both literally went bankrupt within 24 hours of that happening, and they were able to catch themselves and bring themselves back up. But the people were like, no, you can't do that, right? But the problem was that they didn't come from this place of consistency and transparency. They didn't share the journey. And so that kind of capsulated it and it collapsed in on itself. But we are in a different world. We are in a world where we evolve and we grow and we change daily. And so when our brands do that, it's actually can be seen as that you're being successful, right? You're continuously evolving, and it's something that your people can see. And at the same time, the core of who we are, that never changes. I have conversations with my 89-year-old grandmother, right? Who tells me, because I noticed this a long time ago in my early 20s, I think, and I asked her, I was like, I don't ever feel different. I don't ever feel different on the inside. Like this changes on the outside, it changes, but I feel the same on the inside. And she says to me, yeah, that never changes. You do, right? You always feel the same on the inside. And that's because that's the core of who you are. And so if that's a rose, if that's a unicorn, if that's a saucy, spicy chili pepper, if that is a magnifying glass, if it's a beetle, like it doesn't matter what that is. There are things that are synonymous with ourselves that we've always been drawn to. And those are the key to understanding what you can have into place as anchors that allow anyone to feel comfortable in your presence because you're comfortable in your presence.
Fire. I told you this was going to be full of golden nuggets. And so when I was deciding to up level, adjust my market a bit, it's actually pretty big. Okay. It's not a bit, it's actually a pretty big step.
Good for you.
And I did this intuitively. I had not read this anywhere, but I decided I needed to upgrade my morning routine and upgrade my evening routine. And so I upgraded my morning routine through some things that I'm doing. And then I also put some new things that I need to do into my evening routine. And so I think that's brilliant that you said that. It's not just about us having a new logo. It's really, we have to up level within ourselves. I love that you said that. That's absolutely brilliant. I want to welcome a few more people, and then I know we've got some questions. You guys put your questions in the chat because we don't have much time with Miss Jenlyn. We want to get all the juice out of the orange that we can. I want to welcome my good friend, Chris Monaster. Thank you for joining us. He is actually the author and a co-author, and his mission is to help save teen lives. And he does a lot of work with that. Audio rooms. He wrote a book about his story, distracted driving. That's something we need a lot of awareness to. I can say that I've been involved with distracted driving. I really, really work now to be intentional about not using my phone and things of that nature. I also want to welcome Plantine. Great to see you, my friend. Thank you for joining us. And I also want to welcome another special guest. Where is he? Mr. Nicholas Sorrento of Sorrento Law. I want to welcome you. We are going to do some collaborations. You're going to be seeing his name. He's actually getting an office in my same building here in Monterey, beautiful Monterey, and we're going to do some great things. Listen, if you have some legal questions, he is the answer guy. You got to get a hold of him. Nick Sorrento Law Firm. He's located in the Bay Area, San Jose, Santa Clara, but he's now going to have an office in downtown Monterey. I think that's amazing. And also, Kevin, thank you for this. I'm so glad that you love what we're doing here. And my good friend, Miss Sharon Byrne, great to see you. If you are looking for a financial coach, you have student debts. He is actually our student debt forgiveness and options specialist. She's our expert in that field. Please get a hold of her. You do not have to struggle with student debt. You really don't have to do it alone. So, man, I love that you said that. And that's something that I did was I said, you know what? I got to get better. We all have another level inside us. Wherever we are, I don't care if you're making $1 a month or $1 million a month or multi-million dollars a month. There is always another level. And that's why entrepreneurship, sometimes people think it's just about a quest for money, but really what we're doing, I know what I'm doing is I'm chasing my best version. I want to be the best version of myself. I want to die empty. I want to give everything I have to my family, my friends, my people, my community. I want to give back. I believe givers gain, but I've got to be able to do it with a bigger bucket. When I have more, I can give more because I believe in giving out of lack and scarcity. I think that when we give out of lack and scarcity, when we're struggling ourselves, it attracts more lack and scarcity.
Absolutely.
But when we give out of abundance, we can receive out of abundance. So I love that you said that.
I love that you said that you want to die empty. That's so much about about what Sing Your Song is about, right? Is the SYS, and what I do is knowing that we do all have a song, we all have a story, we all have that thing that is us, that we really are meant to bleed out on the stage of life.
Ooh.
We are meant to bleed out on the stage of life. We're meant to bleed it out in sweat and tears, and we're meant to bleed it out in laughter and joy, and we're meant to bleed it out in need and desire and in receiving and giving, and we're meant to do that. We have this phenomenal instrument that can take the invisible and birth it into something visible. And there is nothing else in existence that can do it the way that we can do it. And then you break that down individually. Nobody can do what it is that you came to do. And the only way to find it is to tip yourself over like a teapot and pour yourself out. Pour yourself out until you're emptied, and then you shake because you're gonna check to see if you're empty, and you think you're empty, and there's that rose that's on the inside of you, that's at the core of what it is that you have. That's it. That's what you're looking for. And if you will take the time with yourself, with your service, with your gifts, with your brand, with your marketing, and how to talk about that, how to be present with that, then you've opened the gate. You've opened the gate to all that abundance, to the absolute rebellion of reciprocity, and being able to receive back all that you have given. Because anything ever that's coming back to you is coming back to you as a boomerang, because you have given it first. And it doesn't have to be transactional. It doesn't have to come from the people in our lives. It's just going to come. It just comes when you're in the grocery line and you're having a bad day and you're standing there and you see someone sees you, you see each other from across the store, and all it is that you lock eyes for a single moment. And there is this calmness that comes over you, or there is this recognition that comes over you, or there is the breath that you needed to take within your own body that happens in that moment. When you remember that person remembers you. That's a boomerang. That's a mirror moment where you're serving back to your own self with somebody else's face. That's it. That's reciprocity. And I want to throw out, I saw Nick. You saw Nick for a nickel. And I'm curious, Nick, do you have a nickel in your branding? Is your face on? Yeah, I was curious. I was like, is your face on a nickel? Because it needs to be.
I have his card right here. When I said we're going to be working together, I'm not kidding. We meet on Friday. We're doing masterminds. How many of you would have an attorney that you would like to ask a question to? Hey, we're going to do it with Nick for a nickel. But absolutely, he's brilliant. I got to tell you, he is absolutely brilliant.
Love that.
And super, super knowledgeable. And so much of what you said. And I want to highlight this comment by my amazing friend, Ms. Kendra Knoll from Boom Tag Media. She does incredible social media. If you're looking to upgrade your social media game, get in touch with my good friend, Miss Kendra. But she says, I remember when it started. It's come a long way. Thank you so much. I mean, I attribute it to my team and all of you who show up for me. And I will also say this, that when I started, people would tell me, you don't want people to put their own products and services in the comments because this show is about you.
Yes.
And I thought, you know what? I just don't agree with that. That does not, maybe I'm doing myself a disservice, but I'm doing this show to highlight other people. So why would I do this show to highlight other people? But I tell them, don't put your post in there. Don't put your ebook. Don't share what you're doing. That's not congruent. So on here, on Wealthy Wednesday, I invite you, please share what you do. Somebody is looking for who you are and what you do. Share your links, share your ebooks. Tell us when your next event is. Nick, we want to know, Nick Guy Galindo, we want to know what the title of your next book is, because this is what it's about. It's networking. It's always so hysterical to me when we talk about social media and networking, but as soon as you want to have a coffee chat with somebody, they're like, well, wait a minute, what is this about? Like, what do you want to do with, like, why are you trying to talk to me? I'm like, oh my gosh, it's social media. So that's my 2 cents, but that's my $2 million cent. So I want to hear what you have to share about that.
So I think that happens so much because we're chasing, right? People are chasing. And I also do the same when I do summits and I host summits. You're supposed to keep it in a certain topic, and it's supposed to be done this way, and it's supposed to be done that. I see it as like we are a huge beehive or a huge mycelium. We are a huge organism. We are one. We are all one, parts of a whole. And if I'm a bridge between you and Nick, and or vice versa, right? And so if we don't talk about that Nick, and or if I say I need this thing and you know Nick and you don't say to me, I have the perfect person for you, right? Like this connection never happens. And that's a tragedy. That is a tragedy. That is a tragedy. You cannot sell your people away to somebody else even if you did the same exact thing. And I want to say that again. You cannot sell your people away. If two people are doing the same exact thing, they're not doing it the same way. They're not showing up the same. They're not doing it the same. Their systems are different. They are different. There's no way for it to be the same. Your people, your person, your tribe, that person that has the gaping hole that you have the stuff to fill, nothing else can fill that but you. And they know that, and they recognize that. This is a way for us to clear paths to one another so that everybody is getting the best and highest for what it is that they need and what it is that they are wanting and desiring, and how different collaborations can happen and all of those things. We hear a lot about, the red ocean, and it's over flooded and it's over, crowded, and get out of the water, months ago, back all the way in October, almost a year ago, I got out of the water. I went into the desert. Everything figuratively, physically changed. I went into the desert. I brought that desert into my brand. I started using the desert in my brand as I've been traveling through the desert, as I've been learning. It's turned into this glitch right in between worlds of this new thing that I'm becoming, constantly growing. Listen, there are not mirages in the desert. What there are the lost dreams that you have placed out there for safety because they can't swim. And you got in the water, you jumped in feet first, you got in the water, you did the thing. Now get out. Get out of the water, dry off, put your feet on steady land. And do you know what the steady land that you're putting your feet on is?
What is it?
Your brand. It is your brand. Because your brand allows you to stand and be still and return to this space of centeredness, because your brand is your platform. It's your foundations. It's your pillars. It's your doors. It's the entrance points. It is everything. There is not a single thing in your business, health, and life that does not come back to your brand. Ooh. Nothing that doesn't come back to your brand.
Yeah, because if it doesn't, then that means you got a logo on Canva and you thought it was pretty and you posted it up there. And now you're trying to fit yourself into that. That is so incredibly brilliant. What you do is you give us the permission to be us. And I think that it's unfortunate, but in these day and age, when there is so much pressure to have things all figured out, I think that sometimes we do need that permission so that we can show up and figure it out. Don't be afraid to have it a little messy. Yes. It's all, no matter where you think you are right now, you're going to look back 6 months, you're going to look back a year ago, and you're going to say, wow, I can't believe that I can't believe that thought that was so much, or I thought that was so great. And now look at, I've got this whole another level. And I think it's important it's important that we do that. As entrepreneurs, we're the leaders of our family.
Yes.
We have to be the ones. I always say, listen, if you're here, if I know you, if you're watching this show, if you listen to anything I said, it's because you are the one in your family that is supposed to change your last name forever. That is me and my family. That is me. I'm breaking generational poverty into generational prosperity.
Yes.
And in order to do that, listen, that's a huge responsibility. So it means that I got to be congruent in all the 7 F's, in my faith, in my family, my finance, my fitness, my fun, philanthropic, because I believe that givers gain. I know it's not really an F, but it's an F in my food, because food brings us together. Food really energizes us. I we had an event this past weekend, and one of the girls on our team is a personal chef. Need I say more? Need I say more? And I love food. It was a beautiful place made in heaven. And I want to take one quick second to rah-rah myself. My team, which Miss Sharon Byrne is a part of that, was number 10 in the entire company. Is that amazing?
That's amazing. Congratulations.
I love you. I love every single one of you. Appreciate that so much. So what are some of the big things that you see? When you see it, you're just like, oh gosh, what are, do you have like one or two of those you can share with us?
I am the absolute, I'm really the anti-hero. And this is why, because storytelling is such an important part of what it is that we're doing. Everything that we're doing is telling a story, whether it's through our clothes, whether it's through our presence, our stature, our posture. It's through the things that we say, the way we show up. It is through the colors, the logos, the aesthetics, and all those things. Everything is telling a story. And we really got stuck as a society on this one little bitty story arc, and that's the hero's journey. But there is this there's the whole rest of the world, the whole rest of the experience that you have in your life that's outside of that. Get out of the hero's journey, okay? Secondly, we are complex human beings. We are complex human beings. Please begin to wrap around the fact that you can, not only can you, but that you do hold the totality of the universe inside of you at all times. At all times, even if you're feeling on cloud 9, you are still holding cloud misery down here in your being as well. And that going down to a niche, cuss word, bad word, don't say it in front of me, boo, blah, throw it away. We need to be multi-layered.
Woo! Say that again. Say that again.
We need to be multi-layered. You can do the one thing, and you can do the one thing well. But even if you do that one thing, you still need to be multi-layered in how it is that you're talking about it. To know it inside out, you have to be multi-layered with it. Niching down is actually putting all of these like blocks and these brick walls and cement stones into the place of being able to actually even uncover itself and see what it is. And so I'm definitely don't niche, multi-dimensional, multi-leveled, because this is the thing also. Entrepreneurism calls you to be successful in many areas. Very, 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 very rarely are you going to have this one thing that you do and it take you to all the places you want it to. Because what really happens is the rose, it has petals, it has a stem, it has thorns, it has a root, it has all these different areas and all these different things that go to it. I love that you were talking about the generational wealth, and I want to say this. I wanted to add this because I am also that person. I'm also that person in my family's life, and that has moved into my son. And so, one of the businesses you were asking me about earlier, even before we start, was Martindale Property Services, and that is my son's business that he started on his own, and then I've moved in, and I am COO, and we are together generationally breaking those financial chains. I also grew up on food stamps, standing out in the Texas heat when it was 115 degrees, sweating, crying, hurting, hungry, didn't know that there wasn't anything other than government cheese or peanut butter, never stepped into a restaurant or any place outside of my family to eat ever until I was like 19 years old. I didn't even know that, like, I really seriously thought only millionaires got to do that. And we're doing that together, and it is so beautiful and it's so wonderful. And I leave it there. I could say, yeah, that doesn't fit what it is that I'm doing. People see that and they're like, what the hell? Property services. That's my life, and that is my child, and that is our legacy that we are building together, right? And so no way am I going to hide that or cover it up with some kind of dirt like it doesn't belong because I'm on LinkedIn and it's a property service business. No, that is being incongruent. Bring it all. Bring all of you.
Bring it all. Someone asked me, what would you say to future generations? Like if, you had this one thing to say, and my answer was, do you. Like, do you. People might say that's not the way it is. It doesn't work that way. No one's ever done it that way. That's not the way that we do things here in this business, in this company. I have a lot of colleagues in my industry. None of them are doing what I'm doing, like not one of them. And not because I haven't shared it with them, but I understand it's a bit extra. Listen, it's a lot of work to have these events and do these shows and get guest speakers and do social media and all of that. But for me, it really, it incentivizes me. It energizes me. If you guys can't see this, like, I enjoy doing this. I'm not doing this because somebody said it's good for your brand. I'm not doing this because somebody said, hey, you'll get a lot of clients. I mean, that's not what, I couldn't sustain it this long. I've done this for over a year, well over a year. And, it's because I enjoy connecting people. I enjoy highlighting and edifying and showcasing people. Listen, it takes a lot of courage to be an entrepreneur.
Yes.
We got to be willing to show up. We got to be willing to do some things that most people would never even think of doing. Right?
Yes.
And I think that anyone who's had any level of success, I know anyone who's had any level of success deserves a platform.
Absolutely.
Albeit whatever size. I'm not saying this is a worldwide event yet. It gives you an opportunity to showcase who you are, share what you do, and really that's how we find our true voice.
Yes.
And I love that description of the rose, because that's really describes me and my business. I talk about all kinds of things to do with money. We talk about zero net cost benefits. I talk about Wealthy Wednesday. I talk about the wall of wealth. And sometimes I think, gosh, I would never want to write a book because I changed so much. Like, I add so many other things be extinct or even out of date by the time it goes to print. Woo! This has been fire, Jenlyn. As we're in closing, do you have some final thoughts you'd like to share with us? Although you've shared a ton of wisdom and golden nuggets already.
I want to leave you with this. You're not just building a brand, right? You're building movements. You're building a financial ecosystem that sustains on resonance, not urgency. Replace your funnels with frequency. Build bridges for your people, not traps.
Ooh. Yeah, build breathe. Wow. That is deep. That's our next topic. Build bridges, not traps. That's our next topic right there.
I would love to come back and talk about that.
This is definitely a multi-part conversation. And so we're winding down here. You had some new friends and some old friends. I know people are going to want to connect with you. I know that we're going to want to reach out to you and schedule some time with you. What's the best way for people to reach you?
Here on LinkedIn really is the best way to reach me. You can also get me at Jenlyn UNBN at muchness.space. And that's it. I'll put that in the comments also.
Yes, so please really put it in the comments. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate all of you champions showing up. I appreciate the shares. I appreciate the comments. And you never know who you can connect with, not only you, but who can you connect with somebody? We're entrepreneurs. You know, I just helped a chiropractor yesterday, and he said, Leah, bring your cards. Bring your cards. I want to put them in my office. And I thought, wow, that's really sweet of you to do that. He says, you know what? We as entrepreneurs and business owners need to support one another. I said, okay, you're right. Here you go. Here's my cards.
We are the systems. That's the other thing that I love to say. We are the systems.
We are the systems. So I'm going to play my outro, but don't go away because I'm going to come back with my closing thoughts. Maybe. Let's see if I can or not. Oh, maybe I can. I don't know. Okay, listen, technology sometimes doesn't always go the way. I want to share some closing thoughts, and not that I have any wisdom here, but what you shared is so brilliant. And what really stands out to me is thinking of ourselves as a rose. We see one face here, which is that beautiful decadent flower, velvety flower with all the aromatic and, you know, vitality that it has, that energy that it brings to us. But then we are so much more than that. And we can be all of that as long as we're willing to be what? Authentic. We have to be transparent. We have to show up and speak our mind. And that's how we grow our mind. If we never say anything, then everything we do is perfect. Right? If we never have something go awry on a live video, then you're not doing anything. That's in my humble opinion, right? It's when things don't work out, the tech doesn't work. I've had shows where I think I'm talking and nobody's there. Like, listen, that's when you know you can grow. That's when you know you can grow, was when you're willing to do it scared, do it with shaky legs, do it even if your voice trembles. That's what my amazing Miss Cassandra Terry shares.
I have it tattooed on my arm, and I meant to mention that earlier when you said it. Speak your truth, even if your voice shakes. It's tattooed on my arm so that I never forget.
Because in the beginning, it will feel shaky. And as you're going through the next evolution, my legs are a little shaky right now. And I don't mean that. I mean that physically, like literally, because I understand I'm stepping into a whole new me. And listen, that is uncomfortable, but that's where all the gold is. That's where all the success is. That's where all the building the generational wealth is when we are willing to do the things that get us out of that comfort zone, because nothing good happens in comfort. Nobody ever said, gosh, I just want to be comfortable with my family. No, I want to have a freaking bad ass, relationship with my family. My precious grandson, my beautiful, precious grandson means so much to me. Every time I'm with him, every single thing that we do, I do it with intention so that I know he's 6 years old now. I know this is the point where he's going to remember things. Mm-hmm. And I want him to remember what his gam said to him. He told me the other day, gosh, Jenlyn, he said this to me. We were talking. He's 6 years old. We have deep conversations, mi corazón. He says, I said, sometimes I know, mijo, that sometimes you have a hard time remembering some things, but that's okay. Just tell your super mind. Remember, just tell your super mind. It's in there. I just need my super mind will remind me.
I love that. And I love that you said gam, because my grandbabies call me glam.
I love that. So he tells me, he says, gam, sometimes I do, but I always remember everything you tell me.
Aww. Right.
He says, I always remember everything you tell me. I went, gosh, please, God, make me tell him the right things. make sure that I'm always sharing the right words with him. Woo, you guys, this has been so deep. Thank you so much, Jenlyn. I appreciate you. I see you. I adore what you're doing, and I adore all the people that you're pouring into. We all need somebody who's going to show up for us like that and pour into us. So that's going to do it for this week. Thank you all. I appreciate all of you champions. Please share this with somebody. Tag a friend who is looking to upgrade their brand or doesn't even know what a brand is. And let's say, I always love to say, listen, this is 2025, our year to rise up and thrive and make this the best year of our life. It is up to you. People are secretly rooting for you. There are many people who are attached to your red wagon. So what does that mean? It is our fiduciary responsibility to leave the next generation better than we were. I grew up on food stamps and welfare too, but it doesn't mean that that's all there was in me. It doesn't mean that that's all there is for my legacy. It means that it's my opportunity to break those generational curses. And my great grandchildren are going to see my picture up above the fireplace. That's right. And they're going to look at it and they're going to say, do you see that? Do you see that woman right there? That imperfect woman who showed up with shaky legs and voice trembling? She's a reason why our family is so well set up. It's because of what she did for us. She changed our family's legacy forever. And that's all of you too. It's not just me. I need other people. You, Jenlyn, I need other people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much, everybody. This was so much fun. Enjoy the rest of your Wealthy Wednesday. All right. Remember, this is your year to rise up and thrive and make it the best year of your life.
Hey there, I'm Leah Garcia. Have you ever wanted a career where you truly make a difference in people's lives? I'm building a team of driven financial and insurance professionals, people who want to help families and businesses protect, distribute, and transfer their wealth with confidence. If you're passionate about guiding others to achieve financial security, then you're exactly who I'm looking for. Join my supportive, growth-oriented environment and unlock your full potential. Ready to take the next step? Visit leahgarcia.io and let's start building your future together.